characters, incidents, names, and situations used in this story are fictitious. The resemblance to any person living or dead is purely coincidental. The following video contains some horror elements and suitable for a mature audience, 16 plus. This channel and video is not for kids.
Hello friends, I am Aryan and welcome to our channel Midnight Horror Stories, where you get to hear true and scary ghost stories. In our channel, you will get to hear true and scary stories every Tuesday and Saturday. But before starting the story, all the friends who have come to this channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel. And if you like the story, then definitely introduce yourself in the comment section. Then let's do not take much time and start our story quickly. Friends, our story today is about a young boy named Vikas. So let's now hear the story from Vikas's point of view. Hello friends, my name is Vikas. Today I have brought the story of such a terrible incident that happened to me in front of all of you, hearing about which your heart will be shaken with fear. And it is not necessary that what happened to me has happened only to me or it can happen to me. In fact, it can happen to any of you. And it may not be that this will be the reality of the lives of many more people, due to which many innocent people like me have to endure so much that I had to endure. Actually, before starting the journey of today's horror story, I want to tell you that there was Mangalik Dosh in my horoscope. And as you all know how much Mangalik boys and girls are considered inauspicious, it was all the same with me. But I didn't know anything about it. My family never told me about it. I was in love with a girl named Sheila. We both met in college and we both fell in love with each other. Sheila said that her family was looking for a boy with a government job for her. So I assured her that she should wait for a few days. And finally that was what happened. I had got a good government job. Now that Sheila has the courage to tell her at home that she loves me and I'm the government. When I worked there, family members also agreed to come to us and talk about the relationship. I had already told my family about Sheila. Sheila is my choice, because of which the family did not have any problem. But there was a fear in their mind which I came to know later. Because they thought that after hearing about my Mangalik Dosh, maybe the girl's family would refuse. In such a situation, it would be better if I marry a Mangalik girl. But in front of my choice and my respect, they didn't give me anything at that time. When Sheila's family came to see me, they saw the family, and at first sight they liked the relationship. But when our horoscope was matched, Panditji looked at me in surprise and then looked at everyone and said that there is a Mangalik defect in the boy's horoscope. Hearing the name of Mangalik Dosh, Sheila's family members were shocked. The people who were just talking about this relationship with a smile, now they started shouting angrily that my family has hidden such a big thing from them. How can they give their daughter to a boy who has a Mangalik defect? Seeing this, my family went tried to talk to them. They angrily said that you have hidden such a big thing from us. Your son is a Mangalik. Now my father began to assure me that this was all the talk of such people. Being Mangalik doesn't do anything. But Sheila's family believed in all these things very much. He believed that if his daughter was married to me, then after marriage, his daughter would face a lot of trouble. She will never be happy in her life. Anything can happen to him. At that time, I am a Mangalik. Because of this, Sheila's house, they refused to have this relationship and left. Me and Sheila, just a while ago thinking that our relationship would be fixed, they were very happy. Now we were shocked to hear the refusal of the family members. We couldn't live without each other. By the way, Sheila tried to convince her family that she does not believe in such things and whatever happens will be seen. But her family was not ready to listen to anything. So the next day I went to Sheila's house and talked to Sheila's family about it. But they somehow have a relationship.
Who weren't ready for it. When I told him that there would be a solution, he looked at me. Then he thought about it and said, yeah, it can happen. The very next day they came to our house with the Panditji. But now our family was angry with them, because Sheila's family members had insulted her a lot earlier. In the end, there was an argument for a while. Sheila's family members apologized for their mistake with folded hands and set about doing what Panditji was telling them to do. In such a situation, there is a little compromise between the two sides. Happened. Now Panditji told that if I marry a banyan tree, then everything that is the fault of my horoscope will be attached to the banyan tree. And whatever will happen to that tree. And in such a situation, the fault of my horoscope will not affect my and Sheila's life again, once I get married to Banyan. After that, I can marry Sheila. When Panditji told me this, to tell the truth, I found it all a bit strange and superstitious. But I could do anything for Sheila. That's why to marry a banyan tree, ready. Now my relationship with Sheila was almost fixed, and now we were looking for a banyan tree that I could marry. Now there was no such banyan tree in the city. In such a situation, my family searched for all of us and found a banyan tree a short distance from the road in an outskirts of the city. So we all decided that I would get married to this tree. In such a situation, according to the muhurat given by Panditji, we went there and then all the people prepared for the wedding with Panditji to say a little bit of mantra, etc. Just like I'm getting married to a girl. It all seemed strange to me, but what could I do? When I went to the banyan tree where the groom was dressed, he stared at him. Then I felt like a girl was sitting on that banyan branch who was very scary and staring at me. Seeing this, I was blown away. Who could it be? Hurriedly, I looked at him again and saw nothing. Then I thought maybe my mind would be delusional, so I didn't pay much attention to it. Then Panditji started preparing for the wedding. So as soon as I started taking rounds of that banyan tree, I started hearing the sound of anklets ringing. It felt like a woman was really following me. Feeling this, I looked back nervously, but nothing was in sight. Then somehow the marriage was completed with that banyan tree. Now there were expressions of comfort on the faces of my family that now perhaps the defect of my horoscope will not have any effect on my life. But they had forgotten that due to these inauspicious defects, they got me married to that banyan tree. What a big mistake you are making. Now as we started walking to come home from there, someone called out to me from behind. It was a girl's voice. So in a hurry I looked back and there was nothing. In such a situation, I did not pay much attention to this. When I got into car, I again heard the sound of pile ringing. At the same time, it felt like someone had whispered something in my ears. But at that time, I ignored all these things. Then we got in the car and left to come home. Now when I got home, I told Sheila about it. So after hearing my words, she started crying at first because no girl can tolerate me marrying someone else. Then I explained to him, "Oh crazy, I have done all this for you." Only then did she calm down. Now both of us wanted to get married with the family with full rituals. That day passed like that. When I came to my room at night, I saw a bride sitting on my bed in my room with her hair turned forward. Seeing this, I was blown away. Who could it be?
Now I slowly walked in a little and said nervously, "Who are you?" Hearing this, the girl didn't say anything. Now I went a little further and then said, "Who are you?" So the girl stared at me and I was shocked because her whole face was strange and her eyes were completely red. Before she could say anything, looking at me, someone put a hand on my shoulder from behind and I looked back and it was my mother. She said, "Who are you talking to, son?" Hearing this, I was alarmed and said, "Mother, I looked in front of you." Now I didn't see any girls, no brides, anything. I was quite surprised to see this. Now my mother said, "What happened?" So I said nothing. So my mother said, "Okay, son, go to bed quickly. I have just spoken to Sheila's family. We will go to his house tomorrow morning and fix the relationship between the two of you, and soon you both will also get married." Hearing this, a smile came on my face and I smiled and said yes. So my mother told me to go to bed early and then left. Now that my mother is gone, I am very happy to think about it. It was happening that my relationship with Sheila would now be fixed. Then I remembered who the girl I had seen sitting on my bed in my room a while ago. I wondered who the girl was and why she didn't show up again. Thinking of this, I sat on the bed. There was also a little nervousness. Then say to yourself, "Man, there was no one. It's just an illusion of my mind and nothing else. If it was a girl, I would see it again." There is nothing like that. Anyway, for a few days, I've been thinking about Sheila and my relationship a lot. I was under a lot of tension. Because of him, I am having such confusions. Thinking of this, I lay down to sleep. Then Sheila's call came. We both started talking to each other. We were both talking to each other. Then I looked at the window of my room, so the same girl I saw a while ago. In horror, she was looking inside the room from the window of my room. Seeing this, I was blown away. I hurriedly started going that way. Now I could not see the girl anywhere. So I looked outside, but there was nothing. I'm surprised to think of this. How could this happen? Now I am back towards my bed. That's when Sheila was saying hello, hello again and again. So I hurried again and said yes. So what happened? Now I hurriedly said nothing, then we talked for a while and then the call got disconnected. Now I was just in a hurry to get into a relationship with Sheila, as if I couldn't wait any longer. Thinking of all this, I turned off the light and went to sleep. When I was fast asleep, I felt the touch of someone's hands on my body, like someone trying to flirt with me. I was trying at first. I didn't pay attention to all this because I was sleeping, but slowly as someone grabbed my hands and feet and started undressing my body. Panicking at this, I tried to open my eyes. I couldn't open my eyes. It seemed as if someone's movement was increasing on my body, and slowly the touch of his hands reached my private part as well. It felt like someone was playing with my body like a toy, and I couldn't do anything even if I wanted to. I couldn't scream. Now panicking, I opened my eyes, and seeing what I saw in front of my eyes at that time, my eyes were torn because I saw the same scary bride was bent over me and was doing all this to me. Seeing this, I was shocked. I wanted to say something when she came to my ear and said in that terrible voice, "Is it not married?" At that time, the sound of your wife was very scary and terrifying, which blew my senses. I couldn't understand anything. As soon as his obscene actions increase,
Engaged, she was forcibly doing everything that happens between a wife and a husband. I couldn't stand all this and started screaming in anger when he stared at me, and as soon as blood started coming out of his eyes. Seeing this, I was blown away. At that time, I was so scared that I fainted in a panic. When I woke up in the morning, my clothes were open and my body was in such a terrible pain that it seemed as if I had been ill for several days. There is no condition in the body at all. Now I looked at the window that was closed. The door was locked from the inside. So how could it happen to me? As soon as I remembered the night, I started to panic. Then I said to myself, no, my mind will be delusional. That doesn't happen. Anyway, who believes in these ghosts nowadays? It was the same with me. I also rarely believed in such things. I didn't even want to marry that banyan tree, but all that had to be done under compulsion. That's when I got up quickly. Then he went to the bathroom and wondered what had happened. It will be a scary dream, but then I started thinking about the condition of my clothes. Now he spoke to himself. Maybe I did something in my sleep, but I don't remember. Thinking of this, I quickly took a shower, and as soon as I changed my clothes and started getting ready in front of the mirror, the same scary girl in the bride's clothes saw me standing behind her. Seeing this, I looked back and saw nothing. Seeing this, I thought that maybe the scary dreams I had were the same effect. Now I am ready and out of the room. We had breakfast. Then they left to go to Sheila's house. By the way, I was also talking to Sheila on WhatsApp messages. When we got there, everyone talked to each other. My mother put a gold bracelet in Sheila's hand, and in such a way, our relationship was fixed, and at the same time, Pandit Ji was called and our relationship was fixed according to the auspicious time. In such a situation, there was only 1 month left for our marriage. Now I am back home. Then we went straight from home to the temple. He went there and came home, rested a little. It was evening. In the evening after dinner, I came to my room as usual and started talking to Sheila. So that's when I felt like someone was staring at me. As soon as I realized this, I looked around, but there was no one in the room. So without paying much attention to this, Sheila and I were busy decorating the golden dreams of our lives, and then I fell asleep. In the middle of the night, I felt the same thing again. As I had done yesterday, I could not move my arms and legs, nor could I scream. I also have pain in my private part, and I couldn't do anything if I wanted to. When I opened my eyes again, I saw the same scary girl who was trying to force me, and then looked at me angrily and screamed in a horrible voice that I am married. If anyone comes between us with you, I will kill her. Saying this, she started screaming angrily. Hearing this, I was shocked. That's when she pounced on me again. Seeing all this, I was so scared and fainted. When I woke up in the morning, it was just like yesterday. I was in a condition. Now, as soon as I remembered the night, I started to feel nervous about what was happening to me. Have you ever dreamed of a nightmare? I never felt like all this had happened to me in reality. Nothing made sense. Thinking of all this, I quickly took a shower and came downstairs getting ready. Seeing me upset, my mother said, "What happened, son?" So I looked at him and said that for the past 2 or 3 days, I have been having some strange and frightening dreams. Very strangely. Hearing this, my father said, "At this time, you should dream of marriage. And look, Maharaj,
I'm having nightmares. You are so scared of the very name of marriage. Son, look at us how many years have been married, but still try to be happy." When he started laughing while saying this, my mother got angry at him and said, "Well, what you mean is that I have made your life hell." Hearing this, Papa hurriedly said, "Oh no!" Before he could say anything further, I said, "Papa, I am not joking. I'm really saying it feels a bit strange to me. It's like someone is staring at me. No one is in my room and never thinks that. A scary girl is following me. Now they really appear to me or appear in my dreams. I don't understand anything." Hearing this, my mother said, "Hey son, 1 minute." Saying this, she went towards the temple and brought a locket from there.
She said that Pandit Ji had given you to wear it. This will not make you feel any evil eye. There will be no nightmare. Now I said, Mother, you also don't believe in these things? So my mother said, Oh, son, you don't say like this. God's blessings should always be with you. Put it on. Saying this, my mother, he put the locket around my neck. So to keep my mother's mind, I also wore that locket and then hid it well in the shirt so that no one in my office would know about it. It won't feel a little better. Then I left to come to the office. I didn't even know when I had spent working there all day. I came back home in the evening. After eating, I went to my room as usual and started resting after talking to Sheila. Then I felt something in the middle of the night. Like someone is walking around in anger and trying to shout. It has been. As soon as I realized this, I opened my eyes and saw nothing. Now I was trying to sleep again when my eyes went up to the ceiling and my heart came to my mouth. Upstairs on the ceiling was a woman hanging upside down, and I could tell if she stared at me. This was the same scary bride I always saw. She looked at me angrily and shouted, You won't be able to do anything. You're just mine. No one will come between us. Saying this, she angrily stood aside, and as soon as she was at me, when it started moving, she slid backwards in a panic and started screaming loudly. His scream was terrifying. Now I started trying to get up, as if there was no tightness in my hands and feet anymore. Nervously, I looked at her, and she angrily shouted that no one will come between us. If no one comes, they won't survive. Saying this, she turned into black smoke and went out through the window. I couldn't say anything nervously. Then he lay down to go back to sleep, but I couldn't sleep because of nervousness. It was. Then he said to himself, Who is this? And why are you after me? Is it really a scary spirit, or am I delusional? Nothing made sense. At that time I was very scared, but still tried to sleep and fell asleep. In the morning, as soon as I remembered yesterday's thing, I started to panic. Then I started thinking that whatever it was, but after all, because of this locket, she had not come close to me. But is she really a ghost witch? Thousands of such things started revolving in my heart because I am on such things I didn't believe it. But I couldn't ignore what was happening to me. Thinking of this, I returned to my office after breakfast. As soon as I came there, I had another friend whose name was Ajay. Seeing me upset like this, Ajay said, What's the matter, brother? People get upset after marriage and you sat down already upset about the wedding. Is it okay? So nervously, I did not know whether to tell Ajay anything or not. Maybe he doesn't believe me. But then I dared to say, Yes, man, something strange is—
It's happening to me. Hearing this, he looked at me and said in surprise, Strange. Then I told him everything. Hearing my words, he said, Man, what if you have had a scary dream? I said, No, it wasn't a scary dream. For 2 days, I thought so. But after what I saw last night, I don't think I had a nightmare. So after listening to me, Ajay said, If this is not a scary dream, then it is not right. That scary girl, that bride's soul, has something to do with you. Hearing this, I understand something. I couldn't find it. By the way, I did not tell Ajay at that time that there are Mongolic defects in my horoscope, and in such a situation, I am married to a banyan tree. Now I'm at my house. All of those things were going through my mind, but I didn't tell the family anything. When I fell asleep at night, the same thing happened to me again. The same scary bride appeared. I was being told the same thing over and over again. Because of this, I couldn't even understand anything. Now I thought, no, how long will I be scared like this? I didn't want to tell Sheila anything, which makes him upset. In such a situation, when I went to the office the next morning, I talked to Ajay about it again. Hearing my words, Ajay said that he has a Pandit Ji who can tell about this. They are very old and they have a lot of accomplishments in this regard. You meet him once, everything will know why all this is happening to you. Now, after listening to Ajay, I also agreed to go with Ajay, and in the evening, we went straight out of the office and went to that Pandit Ji. As soon as we got there, Pandit Ji had recognized Ajay because often, whatever such work was done in the house, Ajay and his family used to get the same Pandit Ji done, and now he was very old, that's why his son did it all. So they were well acquainted with Ajay. By the way, Ajay had already told me that this Pandit Ji can tell everything. In such a situation, Pandit Ji again asked us to sit down. We sat down, then his daughter-in-law came and gave us water and left. We drank water and I told him everything that was happening to me. That's when he looked at me. The lines of my palm began to appear. Then he closed his eyes and started thinking about something and said, "Are you hiding something?" or are you forgetting something? Hearing this, he said in a hurry. Then he said, what is in your horoscope? Hearing this reminded me of something. Then I panicked and then said that there was Mongolic dosh in my horoscope. Hearing this, Ajay looked at me and then I said, yes, there was Mongolic dosh in my horoscope. So when that Panditji said, you must have done something for its remedy. So now when I told you everything, Panditji said that it just started from there, all of this, to be. I was surprised to hear this. I mean, listening to what Panditji said, I was also shocked. Panditji had told us that the banyan tree from which I was married to remove my auspicious defect had the shadow of a witch on that same banyan tree. A witch lived on that tree. When I got married, that witch was also married to me. And so she came to my house following me, and she is the one who sees me. Saying this, Panditji looked at me and then said, you are married to a witch because at that time there was a witch. There was a witch, and now that witch will not leave you so easily. If you are married to a girl of your choice with whom you are in a relationship, if she didn't, she would kill him too. Hearing this, I was shocked. I hurriedly said, no, it can't be. Now Panditji said, your mother has put an amulet around your neck in the name of God, due to which those witches are not able to come close to you, but they stay with you at night at your house. Saying this, the Panditji, after thinking for a while, he said that you have to do something soon to get rid of that witch. Otherwise, you cannot even imagine what will happen to you, because that witch will first kill your future wife with whom you have a relationship. After that, she will end your family. Then she will finish you and take you with her. Tell me what to do. I don't understand anything.
So, at my behest, Panditji again told us some solutions, and I went back to my house. Seeing me upset like this, my family asked, what happened? Now I didn't want to hide anything. And it wasn't fully evening anyway. I knew that the witch would come into our house as soon as the sun went down. Therefore, it would be right to tell everything to the family members right now. Thinking of this, I told my family everything. Hearing my words, my family members were also shocked. That's when my dad said, no, it can't happen. Of course, Panditji lied like this. It will be given. So I said, no, Papa, this is actually happening to me. But my family was probably convinced but not ready to accept anything. Everyone was very upset. Then my mother spoke angrily. Then I thought, why is my son so upset? Oh, whether it's a witch or whoever, nothing can harm my son. As soon as the mother said this, suddenly there was an earthquake in the house. Strange sounds were heard all around. Seeing this, we were very nervous. Hearing that horrible voice made sense to me that the witch has come inside the house. But no sound was heard after that. Everything was quiet, but we were afraid. In such a situation, that day we slept in a place in the courtyard of the house. When I was sleeping, I suddenly woke up at night and saw the witch standing near my mother's cot a short distance from my bed, which looked even more scary today. Exactly like the bones, the skeletal hairs were scattered, the eyes are completely red and as if sunken inside. There were strange marks all over the body. Seeing this, I started trembling. So she started moving towards my mother and reached out her hand to kill my mother. Then I screamed. So both my mother and father woke up hearing my screams. The same witch then looked at me and angrily turned into black smoke and left. But I was going trembling. Now seeing me panicking like this, my family members took care of me and said, what happened? So I looked at the door in fear because now the witch again appeared to me standing near the door, which was done in a strange way. She looked at me and smiled. When I put my hand towards the door, my family looked at it, but they could not see anything. But I could see the witch. Now my mother said, what happened, son? So I nervously told them the whole thing, which also blew their senses after hearing it. My mother was very scared. Then my father looked at my mother and said, you said this yesterday. Maybe that's why she came to kill you. We couldn't even sleep well that night. I was so nervous that, oh my God, somehow it would be morning. Gradually, as soon as the morning came, Papaji took us to the place where Panditji was in our house and talked to him about it. Then Panditji also meditated and told the same things that Ajay ke Panditji had told me, after hearing which my family was very upset. I was too scared of what would happen. It was only when we got back home that I got a call.
The call was from Sheila's younger sister. He told that Sheila had an accident. Hearing this, I was shocked. Seeing me upset, my family asked, "What happened?" So I hurriedly said, "Sheila has had an accident." Now even those people are upset. Then we quickly reached the hospital that Sheila's sister had told us and saw that Sheila had a head injury. Her head was bandaged. When we got there, I was very upset and looking at him, I said, "Are you okay?" Hearing this, Sheila said yes. Then my mother said, "How did this happen, son?" Then Sheila's mother and father also came there. Now Sheila's mother said nothing. She was coming from the market on a scooty and a jeep coming from the front.
There was a slight collision. Thank God there was a minor head injury due to the fall. There is not much injury, otherwise anything could have happened, she said sadly. Hearing this, I was about to say something when I saw the same witch standing in a corner who was smiling at me in a strange way. Now in an instant I understood everything and I was very nervous. But then he started trying to have courage by taking the name of God. He started talking to Sheila. For a while, everyone started talking to each other. After that, everyone went out. Now I'm Sheila. He sat down beside him and took his hand in his hands and said nervously, "Take care of yourself, man. You know my life is saved in you." I said that, then Sheila felt like an electric shock and she looked at me and shouted in an angry voice, "If you want to save this girl's life, stay away from her. You're just mine. No one can come between the two of us. Did you hear?" The sound was very scary and terrifying. It was like a man and a woman with a mixed voice. Seeing this, I said nervously, "Sheila?" because I understood that the witch had come inside Sheila. Then Sheila started laughing loudly. His laughter was very scary. Then the witch stared and said angrily, "Did you hear that? What did I say?" Then she heard someone coming towards the door. Then Sheila felt a shock and she fainted for a few moments. Seeing this, I held her and said, "Sheila?" So she looked at me. She tried to say something but couldn't. Seeing his condition, I put him to sleep. Then my family came and told me to go back. But I didn't want to leave Sheila in such a condition. Then Sheila's family arrived. They said they were with Sheila. In such a situation, I asked Sheila to take care of me and went home. Everything that had happened was going through my heart and mind. When I came home and told my family about everything, they were also very upset. Now he was worried about both me and Sheila. That's when my parents assured me that nothing wrong would happen. Everything will be fine. And Pandit Ji has also told us that if we recite Ramayana in the house, then that witch will never be able to come inside our house. Hearing this, I said yes. At that time we were so nervous that we slept in our beds in the courtyard. By the way, before going to bed, my mother had made a circle of salt around us. Because my mother used to say that no evil spirit would ever be able to cross the salt, and then we went to sleep. I couldn't sleep because of the nervousness. They were turning around, but late at night we finally fell asleep and fell asleep. When I sleep, suddenly I heard a terrifying scream. So I woke up in a hurry. I saw the witch waving in the air, walking around near the door. Now I saw his feet that I hadn't seen before. I was blown away because his legs were completely upside down. She was furious, but I couldn't cross that circle of salt. Now my heart rate increased. I started chanting Hanuman Chalisa in my mind. Then slowly I started getting a peace and the witch would scream strangely. She went out of there. Now I fell asleep chanting Hanuman Chalisa in my mind. When I woke up in the morning, I left for my office. Ajay met me and asked me about it, so I told him everything. When I came home in the evening, preparations were going on for the Ramayana recitation in my house, because of which we also got busy in all the preparations, because Pandit Ji told that he would start reciting Ramayana in the morning. That night we all slept together in the courtyard. Just before we went to bed, like yesterday, Mother surrounded all of us. Salt circles were made. I saw the witch that night too, but she couldn't get close to me. Slowly the night passed. As soon as my mother woke up in the morning and went to the kitchen, she screamed. Panicking after hearing the sound of my mother's screams, as soon as we reached there, we saw blood and flesh scattered all around in our kitchen. Seeing this, we were shocked. We understood in an instant that all this was done by that witch. Then the sound of the maid's screams was heard from outside the house. When we went there, we saw a dead rabbit lying outside. It happened as if someone has scratched it and eaten it. His blood was also strewn around. Now seeing this, we were very upset. But what could they do now? In such a situation, give extra money to the worker. Only then did he clean the whole house towards the kitchen. When Panditji came home, we told him about it. Panditji said that evil spirit is trying his best to desecrate this house and prevent the Ramayana recitation from taking place. Saying this, Panditji got Ganga water sprinkled in our entire house. Then Panditji said that we should quickly read Ramayana. You have to recite, otherwise the witch doesn't know what she'll do next. In such a situation, Ramayana recitation started in the house quickly. As soon as the Ramayana recitation began, the mind was comforted. We conducted a 24-hour Ramayana recitation at home. That's really what happened after that. As we had expected, that night the witch did not appear to me nor tried to disturb me and did not create any trouble in the house. In fact, there was a kind of peace in my heart, mind and our house at that time. Now I went back to my room and went to sleep. Everything was going well because Panditji had also made a circle of some mantras around the house along with reciting Ramayana. He had said that unless any person who eats alcohol, meat, fish comes inside this house, this circle will not be broken and that witch will not be able to come inside the house, nor will she be able to disturb anyone. Now that it was all quiet, we got busy preparing for the wedding. And then came the day we had been waiting for. Sheila and I got married with great pomp. I felt like I was going to be with that witch forever. I have lost my leg and I will be happy with Sheila in my life. But I didn't know that there was more to come, which I hadn't thought of. When I walked into the room on the first night of the wedding, the veiled Sheila was sitting on the bed. Seeing him brought a smile to my face. I went to her and sat down and started talking to her, and as soon as I lifted the veil while talking, I was shocked because I saw the face of the same scary witch in her place. Seeing this, I could understand something. Sheila showed it to me before. When she stood up and came to me smiling strangely, I started panicking. Then she spoke in that same horrible voice. Did you think I'd leave you? I told him that no one should come between us. I'm not going to leave this girl alive. Saying this, she started screaming strangely. Hearing this, I started to panic. I quickly checked the locket my mother has worn around my neck. Then I remembered that one day while wearing a kurta for a wedding function, that locket had also accidentally slipped out of my neck with the kurta, and I opened it. Thinking about it was scary. Still, he dared to say, "No, you will not do anything to Sheila." It was to say that she said angrily, "I can do anything," and then she started banging her head into the wall. Seeing this, when I went to her to save Sheila, she gave me a strong push, causing me to fall down to the floor. Then I heard Sheila crying, "Save me, Vikas. It's going to kill me." Hearing this, seeing Sheila's distress brought tears to my eyes. Then the terrible sound of the witch laughing was heard.
Engaged. She was hitting Sheila's head against the wall to hurt her, due to which blood started flowing in his head. Seeing this, when I went up to him, pushed me back and knocked me down. Now I started screaming in panic. Hearing my screams, my parents came there. Seeing Sheila like this, they could understand something when a terrible voice was heard. "No one will be able to do anything. I won't leave him alive." Now, hearing that very scary and terrifying sound, my family members were also shocked. That's when I met my family members. Something speaks. Before that, Sheila's voice was heard. She cried and said, "Save me! It's going to kill me! Save me!" Now my family was shocked. At the same time, the witch jumped and flew into the air and grabbed my mother's throat and said angrily, "You did everything to remove me. I won't leave you alive. I'll kill you." Saying this, he picked up my mother and threw her away, due to which my mother suffered a fracture in her hand. Seeing this, we panicked and ran away and took care of our mother. Now the terrible sound of that witch laughing all around was audible. Seeing this, panicking no longer knew what to do. The mother's hand was hurting, and she could not be left in such a condition. That's when my mother hurriedly tried to say something, but due to nervousness, I could not say anything.
So Papa thought of something and ran away and brought Ganga water from the temple. As soon as he threw Ganga water on Sheila, as if she was in agony, the strange, painful voice of that witch started echoing throughout the room, and then Sheila fell unconscious to one side. Now I quickly picked Sheila up. Laid on the bed, Papa immediately tied the sacred thread in Sheila's hand from the temple. Along with this, a circle of salt was made around his bed, so that the soul could not hurt Sheila again. That's when I saw my mom's condition and wanted to take her to the hospital. So Papa said, "Son, you stay with Sheila now." Saying this, he also explained some things and then took his mother to the hospital. All this was happening. Because of them, I was very nervous. Sheila was in front of my eyes. She had a head injury, so I quickly bandaged his head. I know how I went through that night. Every moment an unknown fear haunted me. At that time, Ajay's Panditji was remembering that the witch might not kill Sheila's first and then my family members. Just thinking about it was very scary. I couldn't sleep properly with my eyes closed and I couldn't do anything. At that time, he started walking around nervously, so I called Ajay and told him everything. Then he also got upset after listening to me. Then he trusted me. He told them that only Panditji can do something. In such a situation, my mind is engaged. So Ajay kept talking to me. In the morning, my parents came home from the hospital. At that time, the ointment was bandaged on the mother's hand. The doctor had said that he had a minor fracture in his hand. Now, Mom asked how Sheila was, so I said that he is still in a state of unconsciousness. Once she regained consciousness, she fainted again, screaming in panic. My father was upset to hear this. That's when I told Ajay about Pandiki.
My family told me to call them quickly, so that we can all get rid of that witch. May there be peace in our home. That's when Ajay called me and told me that Panditji had gone somewhere. If they come by evening, he will bring them to my house. So I said okay. Now we all sat down beside Sheila nervously. I didn't want to leave him alone for a moment. So after some time, Sheila regained consciousness. As soon as she regained consciousness, she started screaming in panic. Seeing this, we handled her, but she was very scared, trembling again and again of the door. She looked at her and started screaming. And we all started assuring her that we were all with her. Nothing will happen to him. With great difficulty, her fear subsided a little. So she told that she was using her phone like this when she was in the room yesterday. Then suddenly she heard the sound of bells ringing. When she looked at him, there was a bride coming with a veil just like him. Seeing this, "Who is that saying?" He thought that maybe someone was joking like that. But the women did not respond to him. She asked again when her eyes went to his feet. Seeing the upside down leg, his senses were blown away. At that time, seeing his opposite legs, his breath seemed to be stuck in his throat. The panicked heartbeat increased because Sheila had heard from her family and also from people that a witch has opposite legs. She nervously looked at the woman, then she removed her veil and was shocked to see her strange face. At that time, she was so scared that the witch looked at her angrily and said in a terrible voice, "You've come to take my place. I will not leave you." Angry saying this, she started screaming. Seeing this, she could understand something. Before that, the witch began to move towards him, and he felt a loud electric shock, just as the witch had gripped her whole body, because of which she started suffering in pain. It seemed as if he had no control over the whole body anymore. There was only that witch visible all around. Sheila was very scared saying this. She was trembling a lot. My mother said, "Son, nothing will happen. We are with you." Saying this, we were trying to give him courage, but we all were also very scared. Every moment we felt a sense of uneasiness. We had a hard time that day and did not leave Sheila alone even for a moment. In the evening, Ajay had brought Panditji, who was very old. When Papa respectfully brought him inside the house, he started looking around the whole house with his eyes. That's when we went there with Sheila. Now Panditji looked at us. Looking at Sheila, he took a garland in his hand, closed his eyes, meditated for a while and then opened his eyes and said Ramayan recitation around this house. A circle of sacred mantras was made along with the ceremony. But there were some people who came to the wedding after eating alcohol, meat, liquor, and because of all of them, that sacred circle was broken. Because of which, the witch has come back to this house. If the witch was not quickly subdued, he looked at Sheila as he said, "It will take her life. It will kill it mercilessly." As soon as Sheila heard this, she was very nervous. When she started trembling, my mother hugged him and comforted him and said, "Son, nothing will happen." Now Sheila is holding my mother's hand. She was sitting.
Now he started asking Panditji in a panic what to do, so that the witch can get rid of her forever. So Panditji looked at me and then looked at my family and said, "You have made such a big mistake to remedy Manglik Dosh. Whatever that witch is, she's married and she will not give up on it so easily." Hearing this, we got scared, and before we could say anything, Panditji said, "But if we do not control that witch, then this innocent girl's life will go first." Sheila sighed. He looked at us and said, "There is a way by which she can leave you behind." Hearing this, I hurriedly said, "What remedy, Panditji?" So Panditji looked at Sheila and said that the wedding match is not the same, and then you have to go to the banyan tree with full makeup. Placing them all there, Panditji said, "You have to make an incision in your hand and drop some drops of blood on that wedding couple. At that time, the witch will try her best to scare you and come to you. B, they might even try to kill you, but you have to have courage." Hearing this, we were terrified. Then Panditji said, "When you keep that wedding couple there and drop drops of blood on them, then the smell of that blood will make that witch feel that you are there, and then with this I will imprison that witch forever." At the same time, Panditji explained more things to us. After hearing all this, my parents started worrying about me very much towards Sheila. Then Panditji said, "Don't worry, trust in God. Keep it, but we can't delay. We have to go do it all now and right now." That's when Sheila started to panic. As soon as we looked at her, she was repeatedly looking at a corner of the house. As soon as I looked there, I saw the witch standing there. Maybe the family couldn't see it. Only Sheila and I could see. Looking at us now, Panditji looked at the other side. When the witch was visible to him too, Panditji closed his eyes and started chanting some mantras. The witch seemed to be in agony and turned into black smoke and left. Seeing this, I was a little comforted. Then Panditji looked at us and said, "Don't worry, nothing will happen, but hurry up. We have to get rid of that witch tonight." Hearing this, I hurriedly said, "Yes." Sheila was very scared at that time. My parents took care of him and tried to console him by convincing him. Then I came out of the house with Panditji after telling Ajay to take care of his family members. Panditji took barley in one hand at the door of the house. He chanted some spells and spread them around the door of the house so that the witch could not go inside the house. Then I took Sheila's wedding dress with Panditji. When we got there, we saw that there was darkness all around. Seeing this, I started to get a little nervous. But Panditji was with him, so there was some courage too. Now, at the behest of Panditji, I added the wedding, and as soon as I put everything under the banyan tree, it was as if the banyan tree started moving and making a strange sound. Then I saw a branch of a banyan tree, went to where the witch was sitting. I was very frightened to see his horrible appearance. Then Panditji said to me, "Don't panic." Now I took a big knife in my hand and started pouring blood there by making an incision in my hand. My hand was hurting, but I was doing all this as per Panditji's instructions. I was doing all this when suddenly the whole banyan tree started screaming. A strong wind began to blow and the witch's screams began to be heard. Seeing this, Panditji started chanting in his mind that then that witch attacked me. She swooped down and sat on my chest. Then she cried out in a terrible voice, "No one can take my place and no one can come. You are just me and you have to stay with me." Saying this, she started laughing loudly, and then as soon as she tried to drink my blood, I became very nervous. That when Panditji started saying some mantras, then the witch started looking at her angrily and tried to attack her before Panditji took out some barley grains from his bag. Some of the mantras in it. As soon as I threw it on the witch, she started writhing in pain, started screaming. Then Panditji quickly took some barley grains and chanted mantras and threw them on the wedding pair and the drops of blood that came out of my hand. With this, Panditji started chanting a mantra again. As she began to chant the mantra, the witch writhed in pain, screamed, and then turned into a black smoke and went inside the wedding couple. Seeing this, Panditji quickly put some of Mauli's threads in his bag. He took them out and wrapped them around those clothes while chanting mantras. Then he put them in his bag. Now Panditji looked at me and said, "That witch does not leave you so easily, but this marriage couple, this blood." Seeing all this as if her wish was fulfilled, she wanted to keep you with her, so she has gone to this wedding pair, and the drop of your blood will make her feel like she is near you. But now I have imprisoned her forever. Along with this, the sacred threads that are tied around this couple, they will never be broken. And I will go home and perform a holy havan and burn this wedding couple forever in it, and she will be free. Hearing this, I was a little relieved. So Panditji looked at me again and said, "Don't worry. Now that witch will never come into the lives of you two husband and wife. But before starting your life afresh, you should wake up in the morning and visit all the family deities of the house, reciting Ramayana at home and having a girl feast. After this, the blessings of the entire family deities, the gods and goddesses, all the blessings you will get. Due to the Kanya Bhoj, you will also get the blessings of Kuldevi Ma, and by reciting Ramayana in the house, no evil force will ever be able to enter your house again. Now, after listening to all the things that Panditji had told me, I came back home with Panditji. Panditji left me at home and told my family some other important things and went back with Ajay. My father asked Panditji and Ajay to stay. Then Panditji said that they should go home and perform a havan tonight for the wedding couple.
It has to be burned, so he couldn't stop and was quite old. That's why Ajay brought him with him. So he went with her to drop them off at his home. Now I told my family everything that had happened. Hearing this, all the family members were very scared. Then he folded his hands and started thanking God that he had finally got rid of that witch. At that time, Sheila was very scared. Slowly, somehow, the night passed and nothing really happened that night. It was completely peaceful. The next morning, we took a bath and got ready early. He went to see his family deity. The whole day went by like this. He came in the evening and prepared for the Ramayana recitation, and the next day he called his Panditji from the morning and got the Ramayana recitation in the house. The Ramayana recitation was 24 hours long. Along with this, we worshipped the entire family gods and goddesses. The girls were feasted at home. He did all the work that Panditji had told him. With all this, Sheila's fear had also gradually diminished, because by visiting the gods and goddesses and reciting the Ramayana, he got some courage and his fear lessened. Happened. At the same time, neither did we ever see that witch, nor did anything like this happen to us. Yes, Sheila was slowly starting to be normal too. Our lives are now going well. We are very happy with each other. But even today, when my family remembers that incident, me or Sheila, we get very nervous. Even today, I think that due to a Manglik dosh being in the horoscope, nothing will go wrong in the future. Thinking that because of which we make some mistakes, that our lives can be at stake. Our loved ones' lives can be at stake. I think it was God's grace that all of us were saved, otherwise the witch could have killed anyone. What would happen if something like this had happened? If Sheila, the witch for whom I had done all this, had taken her away from me, how would I have won? Just thinking about it makes one feel very nervous. But by the grace of God, everything is fine now. I have told you this true story of mine because somewhere in the same way, the life of some people is also like this. Those who have to endure so much due to Manglik dosh. Therefore, in the process of removing that Manglik dosh without thinking, do not make such a mistake that we have to pay the brunt of it by giving our own or our loved ones' lives. Because there is no problem in our life due to that Manglik dosh, so we sometimes make some mistakes and sometimes get even bigger trouble for ourselves. So friends, this was our story today. How did you like the story? Please do tell me by commenting in the comment box. And also those who haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to the channel. Take care of yourself and your family. I will meet you soon with a new story. Thank you.